This time, at least, I knew why I was wide awake and could go back to sleep. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, took emergency action the night before to temporarily ban the short selling of all financial institutions. And I'm managing a long-short equity hedge fund only investing in financial companies. Will I be fired? How can I do my job if I can't hedge? I contemplated what would happen later that day. None of those scenarios can be described as good. First, I realized we were going to lose a lot of money. It was clearly going to be the worst day of my career. And then I had an even more horrible thought, if that is even possible. Both my longs and shorts were going to go up huge. I had already hit my total exposure limit on Thursday, the amount that the city allowed me to manage in total assets. I decided to walk into my boss's office and ask him for more capital. Yes, more. Our portfolio was up year to date, so I asked, and surprisingly, I was approved. We spent most of the morning deciding on what prices to buy back half and what prices to cover the rest of the short positions. Because of the ban, we couldn't short anymore. What is mindful money management? It's being present. It's being aware of what is going on in your investments, be they stocks or bonds or real estate, and also being aware of what is going on in the overall marketplace for your investments. It's making decisions that you have faith in since you've done the work. And you're confident in the value of the investments over the long term, say 1 to 3 years. This gives you a distinct advantage over those who have to care about weekly or monthly and sometimes daily performance, i.e. most professional investors. Being mindful in money management is not staring at the stock screen all day to take advantage of a small move in a stock, but doing your analysis up front and knowing what the company should be worth under various scenarios, so that if the market does go down or up a lot, you have a prescribed method on how to react. In this particular case, we did not make rash decisions without considering the fact that nothing had changed in the value of the stocks. We were expecting to go down. Can this help you on your road to financial freedom? Absolutely. Can mindfulness help you to realize your dreams and goals? Yes. This book is about the lessons I learned as a hedge fund manager and about being of service to others, not solely about a career as a hedge funder. Included are my views into how I, as a hedge fund manager, looked at the world around me during my almost 3 years managing money for outside investors. I also shared my mindful practices that I used to deal with the various adversities that arose along the way. It's about the various techniques I used to stay happy or become happy during challenging stock market moves and individual company declines. It's also about how gratitude can work for you and how you can act as if to achieve what you want in life. Most importantly, as Napoleon Hill said in The Master Key to Riches, aside from the consideration of what I shall receive for my endeavor to serve you, there's the question of an obligation, which I owe the world in return for the blessings that have been bestowed upon me. I did not acquire my riches without the help of others. And to get, one must first give. That's the main reason I wrote this book. I want to share with others the growth that occurred as I became a self-aware and spiritual person, while also gaining knowledge about managing money. For me, being spiritual is not being religious, going to a synagogue or temple or church or mosque. Spirituality means getting in touch with one's spirit or soul. And one can do this many, many different ways. But for me, becoming spiritual meant doing daily affirmations, meditating, visualizing, and listening to uplifting songs. One of the most important things I now know is that I had attained definiteness of purpose. I knew in the 1990s I wanted to become a hedge fund manager. I thought I could use the fund as a stepping stone to help individuals by ultimately starting a 40 Act fund, whereby the same strategy could help individuals through a mutual fund. When Charles M. Schwab, as quoted in The Master Key to Riches, wanted his first promotion from Mr. Andrew Carnegie, the richest man in the world at the time, Carnegie broadly grinned and replied, "If you have your heart fixed on what you want, there's nothing I can do to stop you from getting it." I realized that if I help others to find their path to happiness and success, it would be profoundly rewarding. I found the best way to adopt the philosophy of individual achievement principles is by teaching it to others. When a man begins to teach anything, he begins also to learn more about that which he is teaching. Napoleon Hill, in The Masticated Riches. Chapter 1, Being of Service to Others. Thomas A. Edison dreamed of a lamp that could be lighted by electricity, went to work on his dream, and despite the fact that he met with 10,000 failures, he gave the world that lamp. So let no one discourage you from dreaming, but make sure you back your dream with actions based on definiteness of purpose. Napoleon Hill. Shut it down! Shut it down! What? We've worked on building this up for the last 3 years, and you want to shut it down? This was one of my colleagues talking to me the first week of January 2016. I was going to ask you for a raise, she told me. But yes, I had made a big decision. Why? Well, I kept on asking myself a few simple questions after experiencing an aha moment at a course I took a few years earlier, and again when I came from that course on a Sunday night. Is investing my true purpose on earth? Am I supposed to be helping ultra high net worth individuals and companies be super wealthy, or am I supposed to be of service to those in need, those who can really gain by my knowledge and experience, and those who could gain not only from my financial acumen, but also from the knowledge of acting as if, where through your own thoughts, you can indeed achieve what you ask for. And then I asked myself, are you being of service to others? What does that mean? Well, for the last 10 years, I've been asking myself that question. What am I doing for others? Am I being selfish and just making money for myself to get material things? How is that being of service to others? Some years I rationalized it by saying, well, I'm funding a lot of Lauren and Morgan's college education, or I put money aside for them to use in their 20s, or I did give to my alma mater this year, or I did give to the New York Food Bank. But those amounts were not significant compared to my income, and I didn't feel like I was really helping others directly. But as my best friend Rob Davidson reminded me, I was helping others all the time. In 2012 and the first half of 2013 specifically, I would go out of my way to talk to friends, former colleagues, and even acquaintances about my top stock ideas, my rationale for investing them, what my price targets were. Come to think of it, sometimes I went to dinner with friends and all we did was talk stocks. In fact, they remind me that some of those ideas in 2012 made them a lot of money in 2013 and 14. So though it may not have been significant in terms of monetary contribution, a donation of ideas can be very significant. As Napoleon Hill said, if I give you one of my dollars in return for one of yours, each of you will have no more than he started with. But if I give you a thought in exchange for one of your thoughts, we will have each gained 100% dividend on this investment of time. The most important aspect of doing something good, I believe, is how you feel when you do it. Do you feel happy, or do you feel it's an obligation? It's similar to when you see people begging for money in the subway. If you feel required to give them money because it is the right thing to do, should you really give? If you're doing it because it makes you feel happy, makes you feel great, makes you feel how grateful you are to have the money you do have, then do it. I believe this happens in general throughout life. We're focused on what we're observing in our life, not what is going to come into it. Instead of acting as if what you want to happen has already been received, we ask, and ask. And then we have doubt that we're going to receive it. We depend on the physical world and observe what's going on around us rather than focusing on the fact that when we ask for something, it's already on its way to us. So I realized I could be even more of service to others. I really wanted to take my knowledge and teach others the steps to financial freedom. This was in the back of my mind most days every year since 2007. I thought starting a hedge fund could be a great way to help individuals if I could only get a long enough track record to start a mutual fund afterwards. But did that happen? No. Why? Was it because I became bored or unexcited about investing? Was it because I stopped loving getting up in the morning and investing other people's money? No. This is why. In short, I went to a course in December 2015 which made me realize that my true purpose in life is helping others become financially free. And not just high net worth individuals that are well on the way to financial freedom, but the upper middle class, the middle class, and even the lower middle class. These were people who had limiting beliefs that they could get there. These were people who were fearful about investing in the stock market after losing lots of money in 2008 or even 2000. Or they had lost a lot of money in real estate in 2008 and 2009 and didn't want to invest there. I realized I could be a great educator of investments, budgeting, and cash flow while teaching others how to save better, as well as teaching them how to manifest their dreams and desires. But why did I start a hedge fund? And should I have? Should I have gone through all those years of switching from one career to another? Should I have decided to take a job that required me to deal with the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, and then watch as some of my investments jumped up or down 10% daily? Being of service is what I wanted to do in whatever form that took. And you'll hear a lot about that in the coming chapters. Chapter 16, Prosperity Coaching. If something is coming to an end, and you've tried and given your all, and now it's just time, then allow it to end with grace and gratitude and an open mind for a new day. No anger, no bitterness, no need for justification or reward or validation. Just reverence for this time, for the whispers of renewal. Brenda Bouchard. As we began the process of selling securities to close down the fund, I knew this was the right decision. I figured out that being of service to others and helping people become financially free was inconsistent with my managing a hedge fund. I started a meetup that focused on helping others achieve their goals and dreams by changing their mindset around money, while also getting them to save and ultimately to invest. So what were my lessons learned while I had my dream job? They're numerous. Number one, enjoy yourself and have fun. I realized there were many days I didn't enjoy the daily requirements of raising capital or networking. I came to realize that the more you're present, the more abundance will flow to you. Number two, doubt the doubts. Throughout the process of raising capital, analyzing companies, producing investment returns for investors, I had doubts about my capabilities. But why is the doubt right? Why should the doubts be correct? Doubt them. Number three, act as if. As author Sandy Forrester calls it, be, do, then have. When you act as if you've already achieved your goals and dreams, you feel abundant, happy, and successful. That feeling would translate into doing whatever it takes. And then, of course, you'll have the abundance of goal you've been striving for. Number four, you are responsible for your life and all aspects of your life. I truly believe everything happens for a reason. I was able to realize my dream and my dream job, which led me to a new dream that I'm realizing now. Number five, the more you give, the more you get. But most importantly, doing things for others feels good and is the right thing to do. Number six, you have a right to be rich. Wallace Waddell says in The Science of Getting Rich, whatever may be said in the praise of poverty, the fact remains it's not possible to live a really complete, a successful life unless one is rich. No man can rise to his greatest possible height in talent or soul development unless he has plenty of money. For to unfold the soul and develop talent, he must have many things to use, and he cannot have these things unless he has money to buy them. And number seven, yes, as Mike Dooley says, thoughts become things. In your erroneous zones, Wayne Dyer stated, you are behaving as a fool if you look outside yourself for an explanation of how you should feel or what you should do. Taking credit as well as responsibility for yourself is the first step in eliminating this erroneous zone. From my experience, intuition is also very important to achieving your dreams and desires. As I already noted, when I follow my intuition, my sixth sense, I either made money or lost less. So it is important to develop your intuition or gut feeling as much as possible. So now, I'm living the life of my dreams and working with others to help them achieve the same. I feel so happy to be helping others, knowing it is my true purpose here on earth. Follow your bliss. Are you interested in developing these thoughts more deeply? Are you interested in moving towards financial freedom? Do you want to learn more about how to overcome adversity to have financial freedom? Do you want to start acting as if? Please go online to joelsolomon.com to start yourself on your way to financial freedom. I believe in you. Thank you.